So we often hear that this is a 3 to 5 year process, the healing process. So how accurate do you think this timeline is?
I think it's pretty accurate, at
Yeah.
least in our story it was. I think the first year was super hard just because I was waiting for that shoe to drop. Like he'd, 10 years had told people, or we'd set boundaries, or what I thought was boundaries, they weren't like pure desire, good boundaries.
Mhm.
You set restrictions.
Yeah. It was just like, I'm never going there again. I don't know. But I was still really scared that it wasn't going to work. And I was still really numb. And so the first year was hard for me. I think for both of us, because like he was seeing his, like all the things that he wasn't doing. But like I only knew what he had disclosed over the time. I didn't know like every thought or everything that he was like, oh, no, I'm not doing. Like that's all, in there. And so he was like feeling so proud and confident. And I was like, yeah, it's good. You're not relapsing. Okay, that's good. But I think he wanted me to be like more excited and more proud of him.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really see, I didn't see like this drastic change right at first in that first year. It was just like, I hope it works, but I'm still like scared that it's not going to. And then I think probably the next 2 and 3 years, just going to group and leading groups is really what provided more healing, because I was able to like process all of the things with other women who were also sharing in the same things. And Nick and I just like communicated a lot more. Like I thought we were good communicators before Pure Desire. I was like, we are such good communicators. And then we went through Pure Desire and I'm like, oh, we were terrible communicators. Like you didn't know anything I was feeling or thinking. And the first year also had a lot of secrecy. Like the church didn't know, my family didn't know, my friends didn't know, and you're the pastor's wife. So it's like, why are you crying? Oh, I just really moved by that song. Not, we're going through this really hard thing. So that was really hard. And so like the second year when the church knew and family and friends knew and I felt supported, I think I was able to finally like, okay, like this is going to work. And the shoe didn't drop. So then it was like, okay, this really does work. And the hope just kept building and building. Another thing we like to do is talk about the faster scales. So like before Pure Desire, it was like, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. But really like not good. Like he just hadn't he was good enough that he didn't feel like he had to tell me good.
Right. Yeah. I'm not at the bottom.
Then like the faster scales gave us a better like, where are you at on your faster scale, and helped me see, as long as he wasn't like way down at the bottom, like, okay, we're good. And then him being in group was like another layer of like, I can trust that he's in a group and that they're helping him. And it was just another layer of helping me heal, because I didn't have to be his accountability partner. He had that, and I felt like it was working. And that's what I could see. I could see that he was dedicated to his group, that we were going through the Pure Desire counseling, which was super helpful. And I was learning a lot, and I could see, little changes over the course of those years. And then trust was built because the shoe didn't drop, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. And I can relate to, you just, if you have a fairly decent relationship, even with problems, but you haven't learned all of this stuff, you don't know how to connect your thoughts and feelings, or even how to articulate that, then, John and I said the same thing. Oh, we don't need to go to that stupid marriage group. We could probably teach it. And like, here we are, like our marriage is falling apart under the surface. And I had no idea, because I didn't know. John never confessed to me off and on like Nick did with you. And our shoe did drop multiple times.
Yeah.
But there was like a net, there was a safety net of, okay, we know what to do. We have a group, we have these tools. And I so agree, like the way that you can see your addict spouse begin to get a little bit more in touch with why they do what they do and their thoughts and their feelings, and being able to articulate more than I'm good or bad, or, just, oh, I'm feeling a little anxious and I, procrastinated at work, which gave me some anxiety. So then I came home and I was more angry with the kids. Like, to be able to see that level of awareness is so good. And you can kind of see the growth when that stuff starts happening, for sure.
Well, and I think that it's also just so encouraging for women to hear this because we get women in group that, I mean, they don't ever want it to go back to the same, but they really want to stop feeling the pain and just to recognize that this is going to be a process for both people involved. And that if it takes you, even like you said, a year of just still like being cautious, but working on your own healing, that's okay.
Yeah.
And to just give yourself that time and that grace to go through whatever you need to go through to get to the other side of it, I think is so helpful.
Yeah, because I mean that sounds like a long time, but it's, I don't know, worth it.
It does sound like a long time. I remember thinking like, I am not going to be with you for 5 years feeling like this. But I will say that it starts to feel different even at like day 60 and day 90. And then you might have slumps, but you don't feel the same level of pain and hopelessness on day, year 5 that you do day 1. You do, it does change. So there's enough there. There's enough breadcrumbs, to be like, oh, this is good. This is better.